Hey guys, this is Dave. I'm going to do some prediction video for the Miami Heat for the rest of the season on predictions on if they'll make the playoffs and what the record will be if they do make the playoffs or even if they don't. First game on the 28th, so Wednesday of this week. Philly against Miami in Miami. Last time they played each other, they lost by 2 against Philadelphia, so I think Miami will lose. Second game, Lakers against Miami in Miami. Lakers are not as good as Miami, so I think they'll lose to the Heat in Miami. And I think after that, the Heat will go on a win streak, a little mini one. They play the Lakers again the next day, and I think they'll beat them again. Next game is the Detroit Pistons against Miami. Even though they got Blake Griffin, I don't think they're still, even with Blake Griffin, as good a team as Miami, so I think they'll win again. Next up, they got the Phoenix Suns, and Phoenix has been playing awful, only got 18 wins on the season. They're not going to beat Miami flat out. I think they'll get blown out by Miami, so on a 4-game win streak right now, hypothetically speaking, of course. And next they play Washington. In Washington, they'll lose that game definitely. Washington's a better team, and Miami has not been the best road team so far this year. Next game, they play Philly again in Miami. This time, I think they'll make up for the past 2 games they lost against Philly and win this time. Sorry, that was my phone going off. Next up, they're playing Washington in Miami. So even though they're playing at home this time, I think they would lose to Washington again. Next game, Heat against Portland. In Portland, that's definitely a loss. Portland's playing much better overall. They got a better team, and they're at home. Not happening. Next game, Sacramento Kings against the Miami Heat in Sacramento. I think they'll be able to beat Sacramento on the road because Sacramento is also playing really bad. They also only have 18 wins on the season, just like the Phoenix Suns. So Heat will win by a big margin. And on to the next game. Next game, they're playing the Lakers in LA. I think they'll go on the road and beat the Lakers. Heat play the Nuggets next game. I think that the Nuggets will beat them, even though the Heat are at home. Let's just leave it at that. Next up, Knicks against the Heat. I think the Heat will beat the Knicks. Next game, Heat against the Thunder in OKC. They'll lose that game. Heat against the Pacers. Pacers will win that game. Cleveland against Miami. Cleveland's going to win that game. Chicago against Miami. And Miami will win that one easily. Brooklyn against Miami. Brooklyn will probably lose that game. Heat against the Hawks in Miami. They'll win that one against the Hawks. Then they play the Hawks again, but this time in Atlanta. They'll still beat them again because they're a much better team. Then the Heat play the Knicks again at MSG. They'll beat the Knicks. Then they play OKC at home. I think they'll still lose against OKC again. Then they close out the season against Toronto at home. Let's see, at home or on the road? At home. And I think they'll lose that game. So, quickly, gonna look at all of it. And figure out the math on this bad boy. Okay, so I just did the math, and that would put Miami at 49-33 on the season. I think around the start of the season, if I remember correctly, even though they didn't make a video on it, I thought they would get about 50 wins, like max ceiling. So I think 49 wins is about right. If you liked this video, even though it didn't really go like super in depth with it, like this video, subscribe, comment if you think they would get less wins or more wins, or even if you got predictions for where you think your teams are going to end up. And hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.